They will seek to destroy your career and your family. They will seek to destroy everything about you, including your reputation. They will lie, 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 and then again, they will do worse than that. They will do whatever's necessary. The Clintons are criminals, remember that.
Donald Trump criticizing the Clintons at that rally in West Palm Beach, Florida today. You heard him use the term criminals. Let's talk about it with folks who are about as far away from criminals as I think possible, both of them from Newsmax, Washington. Ladies first, let's welcome back the staff writer for The Federalist, Payton, and likewise, my old pal from Congress, Michael Patrick Flanagan, the gentleman from Illinois. The other guys in Cook County may have been crooks, but not our MPF. Let me begin there, Mike, because the rules used to be, I'd hear from consultants, look, you're a big guy, you scare people, you just got to be nice. Boy, Trump just spares no words. Does this hurt him with women, or when he lays it out the way he does with this shocking candor, is this the real change we've seen in politics this year? It works?
You know, it's really a great question. Here's what I kind of think about the whole Trump phenomenon, and I'll try and put it in a small box here, is that there has been so much frustration over the last couple of decades about how the Clintons get away with everything. The comeback kid, the Teflon guy. Reagan was Teflon, but this guy is real Teflon. Nothing ever sticks to him. He beats an impeachment when he was guilty. I mean, it's astounding. And I think the Republican electorate is having a cathartic moment here, having him finally dump on them in a way that the press has never vetted them, the press has never held them to this level, and no Republican ever before has done it. I mean, when Trump began the Clinton rant about a little less than a week ago, whole bunch, I watched the Never Trumpers come on television screaming to high heaven, he will destroy himself doing this, he can't do this, the electorate won't stand for it. Rasmussen, he's up 2 today. And what's significant about the Rasmussen poll is she's down below 43 for the first time I can remember. This is finally hitting them perhaps where they live and in a way that will take a toll.
But at the end of the day, I'm not so sure that it will really damage them as much as you think it will, or really will hurt them. I think that at the end of the day, Hillary Clinton is going to win in November, and I think she's going to occupy the White House for 4, if not 8 years. So while he is certainly doing damage, I think that time and time again, she's been involved with scandal after scandal, literally broke the law while she was Secretary of State and risked a lot of national security information and secrets of our country, and she completely got away with it. So I don't really see, Donald Trump doing this now. I don't really see it ultimately damaging or ending the reign of the Clintons.
Well, just a word to the wise offered by that preeminent political scientist, Yogi Berra, Bree, it ain't over till it's over. Now, one thing today, perhaps sensing just what's at stake here, Donald Trump told the crowd in West Palm Beach really how much is on the line with less than 30 days left in this campaign until the people vote.
With their control over our government at stake, with trillions of dollars on the line, the Clinton machine is determined to achieve the destruction of our campaign. Not going to happen.
And so Trump again lays it out. And, it is almost such a different style. You can look back again to the changing times in politics, Mike. Back in the old days in the Senate, guys would get up and speak for 2.5 hours. Television changed things. The internet has changed things. People talk about disruptions in the economy to the extent that Trump is a disruptive candidate. I don't mean that as a negative. I mean that as he shakes things up, and this becomes the debate. Do we continue to allow people like Hillary Clinton to get rich off the government and put us all at risk and play the gender card, or do people wake up? That's really what's at stake, is it not?
This election is so out of the box for everything that's gone before, but I think you've presciently observed this is the box we have moved into, and we're going to be in this box in the foreseeable future. The age of privacy is over. So the only people who want to go into public life are those who have done absolutely nothing and have no business in public life but have a clean enough record not to be slapped around, or those who have done horrible things but don't care that you're slapping them around. And I frankly don't want either of these people in public life, but these are the ones that we now insist will be there because we insist that there is no privacy any longer. And the entire millennial generation has come into existence with absolutely zero expectation of privacy. And I think it's scary and dangerous, but I think this is where we are, and we're not leaving anytime soon.
And the other thing very interesting, FBI Director James Comey was up on Capitol Hill the other day saying, please don't call us weasels. Hey, Director, you're a weasel. And Donald Trump took on James Comey about letting Hillary off the hook in his speech this afternoon.
They have essentially corrupted the director of the FBI to the point at which stories are already saying that the great, and they are truly great, men and women who work for the FBI are embarrassed and ashamed of what he's done to one of our truly great institutions, the FBI itself.
So, Bree, here's the thing, and since you guys are both there in Washington, townhall.com reports FBI agents are, quote, disgusted by Director Comey's actions. Yet I guess in this tough Obama economy, nobody is going to quit. In the old days, people would resign in protest. Are we going to see any of that out of the J. Edgar Hoover FBI building, Bree?
Right. I don't think it's as much the Obama economy as much as it's perhaps Obama himself. I think it's very telling that, Hillary Clinton had exchanges with President Obama through her private email server, and he knew about it, and he kind of even had a code word and like an incognito email address, right? So I think it's very clear that Obama seems to be involved with her scheme to have a private, unsecured, unsanctioned email server that was housed in a bathroom during her tenure as Secretary of State. And I think the reason why James Comey is so apt on shutting this whole thing down is because I think he's getting a directive from upstairs saying, hey, make sure this doesn't get anywhere because there's other people involved that are above your pay grade. So I'm not so sure it's the Obama economy as much as it's, people from upstairs and perhaps Obama himself trying to muzzle this.
She's right. The Chicago way is you oppose me publicly, you are not going to make a living, you are not going to have a job in the future, and if we have to, we will step on you publicly and really grind you into dust and make soup out of what's left. These people are afraid not just for their ability to find another job, but to be able to find another job at all ever. And should Mrs. Clinton win, which I will step in since I'm the only one who has an offer an opinion. I do not think she will. I do not think she can. Since Mrs. Clinton, in their estimation, holds a chance of winning, these are long careers, long pensions, children's education, their lives hanging in the balance. So, they do what they think they can. But I think the reason you don't hear from them is because there is a huge price to pay for being honest and good and standing up for principle, and that price is being forced to be paid by the Obama administration, and that's an interesting and horrible problem all by itself.
Now, about a minute 30 remains. I have to go to another story, not political, but perhaps politically correct. Earlier this week in Connecticut, a twin-engine plane crashes yards from the Pratt & Whitney aircraft engine factory. There are still a lot of questions. We understand it was a Jordanian flight student who apparently got into a dispute with the flight instructor. The plane goes down. Then NTSB and the FBI say it looks, quote, deliberate, but they say don't jump to conclusions. Hey, Mike, if it looks like terrorism and it involves a guy from the Mideast, aren't chances that it, in fact, was an attempted act of terror?
Probably, but the great thing about your question is, JD, is that we now have a new box to ask that question in, and the new box is, CNN, ABC, NBC, these are wholly owned subsidiaries of the Democratic Party. So when I want my wholly owned subsidiary to talk about this, I cannot use words like radical Islam, terrorism, or otherwise. Otherwise, they have to report it that way because they have to use my words. So if I use soft words, the problem goes away. If I use hard words, the problem sticks. And so they've learned how to control the box that they have these guys in. And that's why it's there. And they have absolute every knowledge, understanding, belief, and confidence that if they don't say terrorism, none of their minions will either. And that's why they adhere to the rules so rigidly.
And that's why Fort Hood was, quote, workplace violence, right? Mike Flanagan and Bree Payton from Newsmax Washington, thanks so much for your time. On deck, our radio roundtable, Joe Pags, Howie Carr, and Curtis Sliwa, when Newsmax Prime continues right after this.